So here everyone, welcome back, and I hope you guys are doing well. So today we are going to discuss another contest. This one is weekly contest 494, right? And talking about today contest, so problem are not that much like you can say problem are not that much good for the people for the actually for interview preparation. They are like basically like pattern based problem. Like there you are not using too much of your thinking and your logical thinking, right? Like you're not actually using any algorithm, any other stuff. So yeah, this is about the contest, but yeah, you still need to solve this problem as well. Maybe like even they don't came in the OA and the interview, but still that will help you actually to improve your logical thinking as well, right? So let's get started. So let's start with the first problem. So if you see the first problem, it might be a little confusing initially, even if it's an easy problem, but when you got to know about the answer of this problem, you will be like, what the LeetCode is doing, right? So the question is, you are given an integer array nums of an undistinct integer. You want to construct another array nums2 of length n such that element in nums2 are either even or even or odd. And what are the operation which we are going to perform? Like we can do exactly one of the following in any order. Okay, so nums2 of I is maybe we simply assign, or the another operation is we can subtract two elements and then form another and make sure that I and j are not equal, and we just have to return if it is possible to construct an array, uh, such an array, otherwise return false, right? So this is what we have to do. So if you see the first case, so we have 2 and 3. So what we have done, for the nums 0 we stored nums 0 minus nums 1, which is minus 1, and for the nums 1 we simply assign it. So then our new array become minus 1 and 3, and both elements are odd, thus the answer is true. So just let you know what is the idea is going behind this, right? So this is an array, this is our array look like, and what we have to do, we have to make where is the cursor? Okay, make array, not arrangements, array either even or odd, right? So this is what we have to achieve. And let's say I'm saying you that I want to make an array odd, then how you can achieve it, right? So there's a property like if you subtract odd minus even, then it is always going to be odd, right? So this is the property which we can use, right? So I am asking you to like just convert this into order. I don't want even. So what you can do, you just simply take a odd element and subtract the even from them, right? So for example, if I do the same operation here, if I subtract 2 from 3, then it gives me minus, and for 3 it is always already odd. So this is the array which we are looking for, and it is the answer which we want, right? So this is the case. And what about the another test case? For example, let's say I have like this is already in like for example, let's say this is the case where I ask you to convert it into an odd array, but you say that it is already an even array, which means I don't need to perform any operation, which means it is also already my answer. So this is what we have to do. So if you see, if there is an odd element in an array, we just have to subtract all the rest of the even elements, and right, and because this is the property which we can use, so it is always make sure that whenever we are subtracting, it is always going to give us a odd number. So if it contain all even, fine, this is our answer. If it contain odd, then we can also make it. So if you came to the conclusion of this problem that it is already like it is always possible you to actually convert this array into like it is always convert the array either it's odd or even, right? So there is not a single case where you cannot convert it, right? So if this is the case, so if you see, this is the code, right? This is the code, just single line of statement is the code, right? For the first time I also think a lot that what can be the wrong possible case where my current approach will fail. So I try to just check if it is working or not. So I just simply run it, it passes all the test cases because there is only 2 test cases. Then I just simply hit the submit button, and when I hit the submit button, you see what happened. Here we go, like something unexpectedly. I don't thought at that time that okay, this is going to be the answer of this problem. Means there is not a single case we are not able to make the array into even or odd, right? So if you see the problem, it is little confusing, but once you understand it, it is just a cakewalk, right? So this is the first problem, and the second problem is just a variation of this problem, right? So it is little like mostly depend upon the pattern, right? Not logical thinking. So it's just a trick, you can say. So but there is only one change, that when you are subtracting nums I minus from j, make sure that the difference should be greater than 1, right? Previously when we are subtracting the difference k minus, then we are okay with that, but right now we don't want that element, right? So this is what we have to achieve over here. So if you see this particular test case, then we are simply setting nums0 as nums1, because this is the element uh, which is already odd, and there is a one trick in this particular thing, that why we are doing it. And for the, if you see, there is only one even element, so we are just converting that into odd element, so we're simply subtracting it, and after that we came to the point where we have 137, right? So this is our initial array. So what's the trick is look like, right? So if you see, this is the example, right? And I ask you to like convert this into an odd array. So what you can do, you simply say, okay, 1 is already there, I will subtract, I just have to convert 4 to odd, right? So I will subtract 4 to any other, so it make 3 and 7, right? So this is going to be your odd. So initially I also thought that why not our second case, like our first approach which we used on the first problem, will work here as well. But here is the catch. Here is the test case 3, right? So if it's a first problem, then we simply do -1 and 3, it will work. Why? Because the difference, there is no in this particular problem they haven't mentioned any kind of like restriction of subtracting of the values, right? But here if you see, they clearly mention that the difference should be greater than equal to 1, right? So that's why we cannot do it like this, and it is not possible for us to actually convert this particular part, okay, this particular part into a even or odd. So there we can't do it. So this is the case. And now come up with a trick. What is the actual trick to actually solve this problem, right? So you understand that we cannot make a negative elements, right? So it gives me an idea that okay, I can't like make elements negative, which means what happen if I subtract my minimum element from the let's say what if I subtract 1 minus 4, so it is always going to be give me -3. It is odd, but it is not but it is not a positive number, right? So this is the case. So this is the trick behind this particular problem, that okay, I do, if I just at every point I just only care about the, you can say, the minimum element, because minimum element is going to help me in this particular problem, right? Okay, like where you have to do the stuff, right? So if you see, this is our current state, right? So how to make sure that either we need to convert it into an even or odd. So always take the minimum element and make sure to take the odd element. Why I'm saying odd element? Because if there is no odd element, then it is always an array which contain all the even element, right? So we are on, and why we are taking odd? Because you see the property of odd minus even is equal to odd. So that is the reason we are considering the odd element, right? So this is what the case, which means we just simply need to take care of the minimum element, right? And we have minimum, and we just have to subtract it from the even elements. Why? Because we want to make odd element array, right? So we just have to find the minimum element and make sure the minimum element is odd minimum element which we are looking for, right? Odd one, not a even one, right? And so we are subtracting it, because if we subtract, then we got an odd element, and after that we just check if it is satisfying the condition. If it is, then simply return true, otherwise return false. So this is the simple solution, right? Maybe it is not understandable for the first time, but try to watch it again for better understanding. So here is, we are handling one edge case. If what if all are even or all are odd, right? So that's why we are counting their frequencies, and if any of the cases satisfy, we simply return true. Otherwise we are finding a minimum element and make sure it is odd. Why? Because we want to make an odd array, right? So that's why we are finding the minimum element, and after that I'm just subtracting from the even, and I'm checking if the difference is less than, then it is not possible, otherwise it is possible. So this is the code of this particular problem is look like. And talking about time complexity is O of n, and space complexity is O of 1. So this is the whole idea behind these problems. So problem are good but not that much helpful for the OA and interviews. But yeah, this is about the problem and this is about the solution of the problems. I hope you got to I hope you are able to understand the problem statements clearly and also the solution as well. And I hope you like the video, and if you are able to understand, do let me know in the comment section and what or like what are the thought of your regarding to the contest. Let me know in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Do like the video, do subscribe to the channel. I'm going to upload such more videos in upcoming days as well. So this is it for the video. Bye bye and take care.